Unscripted.
It looks like Microsoft and Sony are forever locked in like this epic struggle of trying to outdo each other, and I for one am all for it. You know, I got tired of Microsoft basically kind of packing it in and not really being ready to kind of fight back against PlayStation or anybody and playing nice. Oh, well, you know, we really like PlayStation, we love Nintendo, we like what everybody's doing, we're all just gamers here, we're not in competition, right? Like, that was all doing nobody any good. Look at what that did for us. Just think about that for a second, okay? It looks like we will be seeing competition for the first time in almost a decade between Microsoft and Sony, and we're starting to see the benefits of that as gamers. Now think about what no competition led to us last generation. Okay, it led to the worst output of exclusive games any company has ever had, the worst output of exclusive Xbox has ever had, the lowest rated output of any console generation I can ever think from Xbox. I mean, honestly, absolutely horrid output. You know what I mean? Especially when you think of the Xbox 360 era and how great that was versus the absolutely putrid output of the Xbox One era, right? And it's a real shame because they started off pretty well. You know what I mean? When you start off with even third-party stuff like Titanfall, I also thought Dead Rising 3 was a nice touch, and Sunset Overdrive was good. You know, and then you kind of fall off, and you know, you start releasing crap like State of Decay 2 and, you know, PUBG as like your big deals. Then I start to, you know, initially think that, you know, maybe Microsoft isn't where it's at, or you know, they don't know exactly what they're doing. But, you know, again, this is all kind of opinions, but I do think that it's pretty clear that Microsoft and Sony are in competition more so than ever before. And with that, I keep on saying, you know, we're going to see more and more Microsoft and Sony going back and forth, one doing one thing, one doing the other, and they're all going to try to top each other through various ways. Now, Game Pass has been a big boon for Microsoft, obviously putting stuff like MLB The Show or Outriders on their day and date is a huge deal, right? Like putting those games on there, that, like Outriders was the first big third-party AAA day and date launch on that exclusive, that's not exclusive, excuse me, for the service, and that's a pretty big deal. Now we see that we're probably going to see games that Sony markets have some kind of clause in the contract that disallows Game Pass for at least the first year and gives Sony first refusal of if these companies do try to put their games into a service, they have to go to Sony first to try to get them in PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Now. So we do see that Sony is fighting back in that respect. They're obviously going to continue fighting back by getting, you know, the best out of their own first party and their second party and third party deals and things like that, because that's where a lot of gamers kind of come home to roost. You know, a lot of people buy Call of Duty on PlayStation because they get stuff first, or, you know, a game mode exclusive or what have you. And I think that's brilliant. I think that's a really smart move going forward. Now, when it comes to what Microsoft is doing with Game Pass, that's a little bit more difficult to discern how Sony can fight back. But a leaked document, a leaked announcement could give us a little bit of an indication of what Sony is actually planning. And this could be something that would bode extremely well for them, I think, as an extra perk. PlayStation Plus Video Pass announcement adds movie and TV content to PlayStation Plus. Now, before you jump on the TV aspect, I want to point out something real quick so that you guys don't seem like complete ass buckets who are like wrong all the time and running with these false narratives. Sony looks like this is going to be a real thing, okay? Microsoft, through Game Pass, has released Disney Plus subs. They've released Spotify subscriptions. So we can please stop with the narrative of, oh, they're focusing on something that's not games. People jumped on the TV thing with Xbox because that's what they did to announce their new video game console, was talk about TV. Obviously, Sony is going to continue to release games. It's not the same thing. So let's please squash that before we get any further. and not make ourselves look foolish. So Sony Interactive Entertainment is poised to announce PlayStation Plus Video Pass, according to a new now deleted logo published on the company's website. As the name suggests, PlayStation Plus Video Pass will give members access to a range of movie and TV content. The following description was also published on the format holder's Polish website, which has now since been removed. A new benefit available for a limited time on PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus Video Pass is a trial service. The subscription benefit is available to PlayStation Plus users. Now, nothing has been officially announced yet, but it's only a matter of time before we hear something, as it's pretty much leaked all over the web at this point. The fact that it also appeared on Sony's official website means it's likely the real deal too. Sony previously announced that video content will no longer be available on PlayStation Store as of August 31st, 2021, although you can still access existing purchases. The hardware manufacturer currently supports a range of streaming services for the PS5 and the PlayStation 4, including Netflix, Disney Plus, and Apple TV. So this is like pretty much a big deal, and a lot of people are talking about it. Now, listen, is this the end-all, be-all? No, but is it smart for Sony to go out there and announce something like this that could realistically add some bonuses to being a PlayStation Plus subscriber? I think absolutely. I think what Sony needs to do most of all, like, they don't have to put all their games in their day and date on Game Pass or PlayStation Now or anything like that. If I were them, I would totally rebrand PlayStation Now, find a way to combine that with PlayStation Plus without really raising the price yet, and boom, you got yourself 50 million install base, right? Like, I think that would be probably the best way to sort of go about it. And again, that would probably be the biggest competition. I think one of the biggest hurdles for PlayStation Now is the fact that when that launched, it was simply a service to make to let people make up for backwards compatibility or lack thereof, and so you were paying to stream games, and people don't really like to stream games. Like, that's not their bag. Like, we keep seeing game streaming fail time and time again, and because that's not really the way that especially hardcore gamers want to consume their media when it comes to video games in particular. So it's like, I know people go, well, that's, people are moving forward into the future, that's old school thinking, blah blah blah. We look at Netflix, look at this, look at Spotify, and I will point to the fact that Spotify doesn't require one-to-one movements, and neither does Netflix, right? Like, no matter how fast the internet gets, it's always going to be like you're tethered and using a controller that's wired hundreds of miles away to the data center, right? That's just the fact. Like, no matter how they do it, it's always going to have some kind of input lag. So I always think that that's kind of funny when people bring up, like, well, you're stuck in the past, blah, blah, blah. Like, for me personally, I think that what Sony and Microsoft are doing are smart. I do wish that, Microsoft would have kind of had some kind of, answer. I mean, they obviously will have some kind of answer at some point, but it is nice to see that Sony's out there, doing their thing, trying to fight and trying to, get the most out there for their fans. You know what I mean? Is like, obviously some people are going to go, well, this ain't it. And if this ain't it for you, I get it. I totally understand it. I think that's fine. For me personally, I have to wait and see what it is. But, obviously I think they're going to totally revamp what they're doing at some point. And, I'm good with PlayStation Plus. I bought it up when it was like on sale for like $26 or whatever. So I'm good for, a few years with it. So anything they happen to add is just a bonus. I actually love the service. I love the games that they're putting into it. Like, they are putting some newer stuff into it, but they're also putting some big bangers into it and things like that. So I think that once word gets out, I think we'll be seeing a lot more people kind of get into it and stuff like that. So, it's going to be very interesting and fun to see how that works out and what this means for, Microsoft and how they'll respond. I think that's half the fun when we see stuff like that come about. So, again, it does look like Sony has a bit of a announcement of their own. It leaked out. I will link this article. You guys can check it out and sort of let me know what you think and how you feel about this and where you stand on this. Like, do you want this big time content to come out like this, or do you just think that stuff like this is not really important, or you just are only after like games and stuff like that? If that's like the only thing you care about, then I think that's cool. Like, I love games, but I think that it's pretty much it's pretty much a given that video gamers and gamers alike spend more time on movies and TV and stuff like that than they do actually gaming. So I think it's a smart move. Will I use it or not? I don't know. Remains to be seen. Depends on what it is. But I would appreciate your guys' feedback on this. Thanks for watching. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.
Unscripted.